Welcome to Yaka Digital Network. In this busy market, every transaction, from selling produce to moving clothes, runs on business mathematics. To understand this, let's start at the source. When a trader buys matake directly from a farmer, the amount paid is the cost price. Later, when that trader brings the matake to town and exchanges it with a customer, the amount they receive is the selling price. Here is a straightforward transaction calculation. If our trader's cost price is 10,000 shillings and their selling price is 15,000 shillings, the selling price exceeds the cost. Subtracting the 10,000 leaves a profit of 5,000 shillings. Earning 5,000 shillings sounds positive, but knowing the raw currency amount alone does not tell you how well a business is actually doing. To compare different investments accurately, we need the mathematical context of percentages. This brings us to a common error. When calculating percentage profit, many people divide their profit by the final selling price. Looking at this formula, you can see the correct method is to anchor your calculation to the cost price, the original money you invested. Applying this to our matake transaction, we take the 5,000 shillings of profit and divide it by the initial 10,000 shilling cost price. Multiplying by 100 gives us a return of 50%. By measuring the return strictly against the cost, you get an accurate picture of exactly how hard your initial capital is working for you. On this receipt, you can see a base price of 100,000 shillings, but in Uganda, most consumer goods require an additional 18% value-added tax, which is a mandatory addition to the baseline cost. You could calculate 18% and then add it to the original amount, but there is a professional shortcut. Multiplying the base price directly by 1.18 jumps straight to the final total of 118,000 shillings. Unlike a discount, tax variables always drive the final cost above the marked price, shifting the financial burden to the consumer at the point of sale. On the other hand, sellers will occasionally reduce the marked price to attract buyers. You will often encounter situations involving successive discounts, such as a shop running a general clearance sale combined with an extra bonus for paying in cash. Look at this equation. A common incorrect assumption is that an initial 10% discount plus an extra 5% discount equals a single 15% price reduction. Let's test this mathematically. Pause the video and calculate the final price of an item marked at 20,000 shillings, applying a 10% discount, followed by a separate 5% discount. The first step is to apply the initial 10% reduction to the 20,000 shilling base. Multiplying by 0.90 gives a new intermediate price of 18,000 shillings. Now, the critical second step. We apply the 5% cash discount to the newly reduced 18,000 shilling price, not the original starting price. Multiplying by 0.95 leaves us at 17,100 shillings. If you had simply taken a flat 15% off the original 20,000, the final price would have been lower. Calculating successive discounts step by step yields a mathematically higher final price, protecting the seller's profit margin. Let's put these variables together into a single real-world transaction. This trader buys a bicycle, calculates a markup to establish a public price, and then negotiates a final discount with a buyer. Starting at this first node, the bicycle's cost price is 300,000 shillings. The trader applies a 20% markup to determine a marked price of 360,000 shillings. A buyer asks for a deal, so the trader offers a 10% discount. We take the 360,000 marked price and multiply it by 0.90, landing on a final selling price of 324,000 shillings. To verify the business outcome, we compare this final selling price against the very first cost price node. Because 324,000 is greater than 300,000, the trader successfully secures a profit of 24,000 shillings. By mastering the exact relationship between the initial markup and the final discount, an entrepreneur can offer deals to customers without sacrificing their own capital. On this cheat sheet are the 3 core rules for business math. First, always anchor percentage profit to your original cost price. Second, taxes like that add directly to the base price, often using the 1.18 multiplier. Third, successive discounts must be stepped down sequentially, applying only to the reduced amounts. Mastering these formulas ensures your hard-earned money works efficiently for your future business. For more step-by-step lessons, visit the Yaka Digital Network website.